Now guys, compression dictionaries are the heart of compression in DB2. So whether you work with static or classic row compression, there has to be compression dictionaries that needs to be created. If not, and these dictionaries basically help us to compress the table data. So it's important to understand some related characteristics of these compression dictionaries. So here are some pointers. There are two types of compression dictionaries that are available in DB2, that are table level and page level. Table level compression dictionaries are used by classic as well as by adaptive row compression that we have seen in the previous lecture. Page level dictionaries are only used by adaptive compression. Now it's important to understand that when these dictionaries are created and how they are created. So table level dictionaries can be created manually by writing a command, or it can also be triggered automatically. While page level dictionaries are always created automatically and there is no command to create a page level dictionary explicitly. We'll look at all these scenarios in the upcoming slides. Then we know that dictionaries are required to compress the data rows and data pages. Without having a compression dictionary, you cannot compress the data rows or data pages. So you must have a data dictionary created manually if required, or it is automatically created when some event occurs on your table. And this last point is really important. By enabling compression, it may not necessarily create a compression dictionary at that point. So when you create a new table and specify compress yes adaptive or compress yes static, or you alter an existing table by specifying those keywords, that doesn't mean that the dictionaries are created then and there. You might need to create the dictionary explicitly if you want, or it will be automatically created based on an event. So enabling compression on a table does not create a dictionary then and there. So we'll see all of these points in the upcoming slides. So here is the first way of dictionary creation, and that is known as automatic dictionary creation. And as the name suggests, that the dictionary is automatically created when some event occurs on a table. So here in this example, I'm creating a new table EMP1 with these two columns, and I've specified compress yes static, or I can also use adaptive compression on this table. So once you create this table, the table remains blank, the compression is enabled, but the dictionary is not created. So what we do is, we start inserting some records into this new table. And as soon as you start inserting some records, an ADC threshold is identified for this table. ADC threshold is the point when the dictionary will be automatically created. Now for a dictionary to be created for a table, it has to have some sample data based on which it will create the dictionary. And as of now, we don't have so much of data with which the dictionary can be created. So we go ahead and insert some more records. But still, the ADC threshold is not reached, so the dictionary will not be created as of now. But as more data is inserted and as it touches this ADC threshold, the dictionary gets automatically created based on the existing rows in this table. And this dictionary is appended to the table itself. When you insert more rows into the table, all these rows would be compressed with this table level compression dictionary. So this is how the automatic dictionary creation works. It needs sufficient sample data in the table with the help of which it will create the dictionary, and till the point the ADC threshold is reached, the dictionary is not created. And once it is created, all the subsequent rows will be compressed with this table level dictionary. But here is a problem. We see that there are some rows that are still uncompressed into the table. Now these rows will not be compressed because these rows were present before the dictionary was created. Rows that were added after the creation of the dictionary will be compressed, but the rows that were there before the creation of the dictionary remain uncompressed in the table. Another thing that is important to understand over here is that based on the sample data that this table had at the time of creation of dictionary, it created this dictionary and gave you a compression ratio, right? So whatever repeating values it found in these existing rows, based on that, the dictionary was created. But as and when more and more rows are added, and as and when more different records are added, it is quite possible that this dictionary would not give you the optimum compression for us to save on the data storage in totality on this entire table. So what we can do to resolve these two problems, the problem of uncompressed rows and to get a better optimum compression factor, we need to execute the statement that says db2 reorg table, the table name, and we have to append this command with this reset dictionary keyword. Now, what is this reorg command? When we keep inserting and deleting and updating records into the table, the rows are fragmented on the data pages, and we need to kind of do a defragmentation on the entire table rows so that they are placed close to each other on the data pages. So that is what reorganization means. And if you add reset dictionary clause to this table, what this command will do is basically go to the table, it will reorganize the entire table data, and it will also reset the compression dictionary. So resetting the compression dictionary means that it will scan the entire table now with all the rows and all the values and recreate a better table dictionary, and then you'll have all the rows in the table that would be compressed. And then the table compression dictionary is moved to the top of the row. So this compression dictionary always remain with the table. So every table will have its own individual unique table compression dictionary attached to that table. So this is how automatic dictionary creation works on a new table. Now let's see how automatic dictionary creation happens with an existing table that already has some rows. So here we have this existing table where compression is not enabled, but we have some rows inside this. So first thing that we need to do before the automatic dictionary creation can happen is to enable this table for compression. And how we can do that? By altering this table and adding these keywords towards the end of the statement. And once you do this, an ADC threshold is identified for this table. Now this threshold value actually depends on how much sample data is there into this existing table. So if, for example, we don't have sufficient data to trigger the dictionary creation, then we need to insert more records into this table. And as soon as the ADC threshold is reached, the dictionary will be created, and then you can go ahead and insert more records into the table. And all these records will be then compressed. But now again, we have the same problem that existing rows are not compressed, while the rows that were inserted after the creation of the dictionary are compressed. As well as we would need a better compression factor, so we need to go ahead and execute this statement that would reset the dictionary and give you all the rows in a compressed format. So whether you're creating a new table or working with an existing one, the automatic dictionary creation depends on how much data is there in the table with the help of which it can create a table dictionary. And once a dictionary is created, it's always good to execute this statement to have everything in place. Now let's talk about the manual dictionary creation. So let's say we have this table where compression is enabled already. Whether you created a new table with compression or whether you altered this table and enabled compression. So in any which ways, this table is enabled for compression. And here is this ADC threshold. And right now we just have few rows in this table. So let's say I go ahead and add few more rows. Now as you know that unless this threshold level is reached, the automatic dictionary creation will not trigger. But I can't wait for the ADC threshold, and I need to manually create the table compression dictionary with these existing rows only. So what I can do is I can just write a simple command that says reorg table name reset dictionary. And we've seen this command from the previous slide. Now this command will create this dictionary then and there. It doesn't have to wait to reach to the ADC threshold. So at any point in time, if you don't have a dictionary created and you want the dictionary created to be manually, you just execute this statement and then the dictionary will be created with the existing rows. You may have executed this statement when there were only some rows in the table. If you had done that then the dictionary would be created here at this point. So this command reorg table name reset dictionary does two things for you. It looks for an existing dictionary in the table. If it finds an existing dictionary, it basically updates that dictionary with the current data into your table. If there is no dictionary available for the table yet, then this command will also create that dictionary for you, and it will not wait for ADC threshold to be reached. So guys, this is how the dictionary creation happens manually and automatically. In the next lecture, let's go ahead and start working with some commands related to compression in DB2. Thank you.